I was sad, to be quite honest, because I was supporting him to the very end. So I was sad in the beginning. But when he endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris, I felt relieved.
Tonight at 10 tonight, we are hearing from a growing number of Alaska Democrat delegates endorsing Vice President Harris. That as Alaska Republicans continue reacting to the breaking news of President Joe Biden withdrawing from the presidential race. As we come on the air at 10, a growing number of Democrats across the country are joining President Biden in endorsing Vice President Kamala Harris hours after the president shocked many in the country by dropping out of the race. That as a growing number of Republicans are calling for the president to leave office now. The president, who says he'll address the nation later in the week as he continues to recover from COVID, said in a statement, "It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president, and while it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term." Vice President Kamala Harris is now officially a candidate for president. Shortly after President Biden made that announcement, Vice President Harris became a presidential candidate. New Federal Election Commission filings show Biden for President committees changed the name to Harris for President. In her statement, the vice president said she looks forward to earning the nomination. The Democratic ticket will be formally nominated next month at the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. And one of those delegates who's scheduled to be in Chicago is Alaska's Democratic Party Chair Mike Winstrup, who told me this afternoon that he's endorsing Vice President Harris. Winstrup says it's up to each of Alaska's Democratic delegates to decide who they want to be the next president, including those who are already pledged to President Biden. The party chair says many Alaska Democrats he's hearing from are both saddened and hopeful about the party coming together to win in November.
My biggest reaction was just seeing yet another example of how selfless and how much of a patriot President Biden is. You know, once again, he's putting this country ahead of his own interest and what he wants. He's been one of the most consequential presidents of my lifetime. And I think this is yet just another example of him putting America first. People I've talked to and reached out to have said there's sort of sadness because they love President Biden, but there's also excitement about nominating Vice President Harris. I think everyone's a little bit in shock and just trying to absorb the reactions. But from what I've seen, from who I've heard, and what I've seen on social media, and from the people who've reached out to me, what I really see is a renewed excitement to go out and elect Kamala Harris as our next president.
And besides the Democratic Party chair, we're hearing reaction from other Alaska Democrats set to head to Chicago next month, and some state Republicans just back in town from the RNC in Milwaukee. Lex Yelverton continues our complete coverage after speaking with both sides. Lex?
Joe, since we saw you earlier tonight, we've learned State Senator L.V. Gray Jackson, who was a state delegate and representative.
All right, thanks so much, Lex. Former President Donald Trump calling Biden a fraud today in a statement. His campaign also out with a lengthy statement. They quickly tied Harris to Biden's record, including immigration, inflation, and the end to the war in Afghanistan. The Trump campaign ending their statement by saying, quote, "The question then to Kamala Harris is simple. Knowing that Joe Biden withdrew from the campaign because of his rapidly deteriorating condition, does Harris believe the people of America are safe and secure with Joe Biden in the White House for 6 more months?" That Trump-Vance campaign question, which is the tone of so many Republicans share tonight, comes as the vice president is set to make her 5th visit to the battleground state of Wisconsin on Tuesday. That visit was announced just 2 days ahead of the president's decision to drop out of the race. Vanessa Kelson now joins us with what's at stake during that visit.
The Biden-Harris team is moving fast. Within hours of Biden's announcement to drop out of the...
This story continues to develop, and we broke this news to you through a push alert on Alaska's News app this morning, moments after that news broke. And that's the quickest way to get breaking news updates as they happen. We post them first on alaskasnewssource.com and on our mobile app. And now it's that time of night to head over to the Weather Center, where we have meteorologist Robert Forget has a first look at our forecast.
Hey, Joe, take a look at this. This is the live shot right now.